decision.
Inoue, you are no monster. You are a monster.
From Inoue, this is a fearsome flurry, and he's done.
Inoue scared me.
Naoya Inoue may be the greatest KO artist we've ever seen. Yet his suicide-seeking opponents dare to bully him still, and to his own race as a Japanese warrior.
I feel like the hype is around amongst him because he's a Japanese person doing these things.
But to punish these rats, the humble Japanese fighter decided to prove that his opponents weren't just signing a contract, but their own death warrants. Get ready, as you're about to witness Naoya Inoue's most brutal form unleashed upon these scoundrels. This is fightingist art. Let's go. Body Jamie McDonnell. Being from Japan, many Western fighters make fun of Inoue for not being from one of the popular boxing nations. Well, in 2018, this British fighter in particular tried to ridicule the Japanese fighter's name, acting as if the monster's 5-letter name was too difficult to pronounce.
I can't pronounce his first name, I just call him Inoue, yeah.
Well, in just a few minutes, he will know more about the Japanese than he had hoped for. At the onset, the 6-foot Brit was wary of the monster, and he tried to keep it long with jabs. But it didn't take long for Naoya to find pockets through the range of McDonnell and introduce himself. Once the monster started connecting cleanly, the British immediately realized what he was facing. What followed was the fury in Inoue in full display. If he couldn't pronounce the Japanese fighter's name, he was now familiar with the monster he was facing in the ring. After a barrage of brutal shots against the ropes, the second knockdown was the end of the fighters getting to know each other, and McDonnell could write chapter about the monster he faced that night. Antonio Neves. After crushing opponents one after the other in Japan, a young Naoya Inoue made his American TV debut. His opponent was arrogant and prideful, and felt Inoue was overrated since he was just a Japan-based fighter.
Has he really been tested? Like, all his fights been in Japan. Half of them were at 108. Fighting guys that stand right in front of him. Everything went his way. He's at home, lower weight class.
Finally, the time came to put words into action. Instantly, the monster stalked his American opponent, setting the tone for the contest with his powerful jabs.
Top fighter in the world, exceeded only by Gennady Golovkin, and that, of course, underlines the fact that power is all
behind the jab, like you just mentioned, so that's definitely an asset.
Landed a right hand to begin the fight. Behind the jab on a classic 1-2. That represents a great opportunity for me.
Saying all the right things, I just don't know if he can translate that physically.
Tries to deliver the body. Inoue did a great job of feints and Japan by Neves.
Right, tries to punch with Inoue to get his shot in there first. Here's where Inoue has had his way so far, so he wants to make him uncomfortable.
In the second round, to cheers from the American audience, Inoue started to land the damaging shot.
Times Inoue has been a little bit wide, but you can see the force.
A huge right hand behind the guard was followed by a crunching left to the body.
Body shot yet from Inoue in this round. Now he goes downstairs and comes back up, having his feet flat on the canvas and maximizing the power in his punches. Neves with that hard right hand off the jab. Neves trying to come back with some body shots. Inoue just standing in.
Neves did try to return fire with fire in front of his home crowd.
When one guy is coming up from below the flyweight division, and the other guy's coming down from 122 pounds.
But the monster had won the fans over, finishing the round with powerful left hooks that left the Cleveland native badly hurt up against the ropes.
Right hand by Inoue drives Neves back just a little bit. Left hand to the body, placement rather than power. Now combinations.
In the third, the 24-year-old Inoue crushed his foe with huge combinations to the head and body, with little concern about anything that may come back the other way.
Round 3 of a schedule 12. You can see that Harold Letterman, unofficially, not surprisingly, has Naoya.
Neves was hurt in that last round, and he wants to test him to see how hurt he still is.
You see why he's called the monster. When a guy has fast hands,
He just did something you occasionally see Gennady Golovkin do. He saw the target and adjusted the arc up to give it a little bit lift over the top and get it down to the base. Now there's a perfect uppercut.
ability to avoid punches and doesn't always use kind of classic technical defense. You think that'll be a
Inoue was intent on showing to the American audience that he is not to be taken for granted.
That will be a problem down the stretch if he continues to fight in his early to mid-30s. He'll have to make those adjustments in
when he throws it.
And it sets up power shots in his plan to do so.
Absolutely.
He's a pick-em type puncher until he gets his guy hurt. I think Inoue has to put Neves away here in this round or next because it's a lopsided fight.
In the fifth round, a thumping left hook to the body and another left hook sent Neves to the canvas and made him rethink all his trash talk.
This is trying to find somewhere to hide in the ring, and he can't. Gets him into a position there where he can face him and lands a body shot on authority.
One or two more of those, he could end this fight, Jen. There, and here Inoue has him ready to go to the body. Yup, there it is.
The Cleveland man returned to his feet and survived a minute of stinging body shots.
Exactly. Don't abandon the body right now. He'll protect the head, but the body can't.
And there's another one. The authority to change anything. Another left hook to the body. Inoue listening to what Max Kellerman and Andre Ward say. Another left hook to the body. Another left hook to the body. Inoue trying.
The American fought on to hear the bell and sluggishly returned to his corner.
Only throwing one hook at a time, and what Andre did against Kovalev.
The one-sided domination continued in the sixth round as Inoue, in complete cruise control, walked down Neves.
Damaging thing to do. Like, why does he need to keep taking those?
This is where you see a little bit of inexperience from Inoue, only having 13 fights. Good right hand.
Right to the body, and Neves looked at him like, wait a minute, you're allowed to do that.
Another left hook to the body. Listen to the sound when those left-hand body shots land. That is.
And took his chance to taunt his enemy for the disrespect.
Glued to his side right there. That's why you got to switch it up. If you want that shot, you got to go away and then come back to it.
And with the chance to put on a show now, Inoue is doing so as he looks from me in the ring. Come to me. Come to me. I'm ready for the knockout right now.
The referee has to keep a close look on Neves in a minute, and it's only going to get worse as this fight progresses. Big right hand
to the body.
From Inoue
What a vicious shot.
Did Neves need the last?
After the ringing of the bell, the American's corner rightfully decided he had taken enough punishment.
Joseph Delguide has a decision to make, and he has made the decision.
That's what happens when you disrespect the monster. Emmanuel Rodriguez. Now going for more belts. In the bantamweight division, Inoue faced the most disrespectful of his opponents, Emmanuel Rodriguez, a guy with an all-time and uncrackable chin who felt his encounter with Inoue would go differently than all of Inoue's previous opponents. At the pre-fight workouts, Rodriguez's trainer aggressively shoved Inoue's father, Shingo Inoue, who is also Inoue's trainer. Inoue stood with his arms folded, knowing he would unleash hell on his fighter in 24 hours. At the face-offs, Inoue's vengeful intentions could be seen. Round 1, Emmanuel Rodriguez had officially run out of places to hide. His day of reckoning had come, and the world was tuning to see it happen. And to this credit, Rodriguez went straight out there, took the center of the ring, and tried to put pressure on the monster.
Inoue from Japan in the sparkling shorts. Rodriguez getting things done quickly.
He looked confident in there with Inoue, but that was only because he hadn't felt the Japanese champion's power yet.
It's the knockout ratio of a heavyweight. He's very excited to see what he brings tonight, but Rodriguez, in my opinion, is his toughest.
There was a clear speed advantage for Naoya here too, which he used both offensively and defensively.
It is off his feet. Big right. Inoue early on. Rodriguez took it, rested on his gum shield and came back.
Inoue wanted a firefight in there. He wanted his rival to understand the extent of his team's mistake.
With a flurry of his own. Toe-to-toe action, first round. Spectacular. Oh, it's almost a macho battle in these first 35.
Naoya was in total control of the distance in round one, and he was clearly finding a home for his jab early.
And personal, it's a real thing of beauty. He gets so much leverage, and that's, I think, why he's got the knockout ratio that he...
Inoue was happy to welcome the pressure too, allowing Rodriguez to test his defense before firing back.
There's that shoving right hand comes forward. Oh, big shot to the body. Inoue.
The way Inoue sets up that left hook with his other punches is a thing of beauty, and Rodriguez was immediately struggling to deal with it.
On we go, that's the way it should be, Carl.
Yeah, no, it was low, but it was an accidental one, and Inoue just wanted to fight on.
But the idea of him going out there and blasting through Rodriguez in just one round was not going to happen as easily as he might have thought.
We anticipated in the build-up to the fight, no apprehension at all from Rodriguez, and he's done well in this opening round. Never know, might even got it on the...
Emmanuel was in the fight and clearly comfortable on the inside with Inoue, or at least he was for now.
Rodriguez has done okay, hasn't looked out of his depth, but the more scoring solid punches have come from Inoue.
It was a closely contested round, sure, but Inoue was just biding his time, making his reads and setting his traps.
Back we go with Inoue.
Little did we know that Naoya Inoue was about to bring the hammer down in round two, ending this bout before it had even really begun.
Just to remind you, a huge support staff with him.
Round two. Just look at how he sprung up out of that stool. This man was very clearly ready for war, and he was not going to wait any longer to punish this opponent. This was a different level of intensity from Inoue in round two, like he had studied Rodriguez's movement enough in round one to know that he was doomed in the second.
Keep an eye. Fine fighting background. He's worked exceptionally hard as well for this fight.
And sure enough, the results spoke for themselves. And as soon as he found his opening, he nailed Rodriguez hard with a beautiful short hook.
And he's got in two from Inoue. This is a fearsome flurry, and he's down. He's got him with a left.
This was the first time Rodriguez had been down in his entire career, and Inoue was gearing up to send him right back to the canvas.
He'll count in the corner right above us. He'll dust down. He's ready to go again, is Rodriguez. Here comes Inoue.
And this is where the karma came into play. Inoue wanted to make a statement here to prove that this man had no business being in the ring with him.
Above us, he'll dust down. He's ready to go again, is Rodriguez. Here comes Inoue. Oh, he's got it to the body.
Rodriguez knew he was in an unwinnable situation here, and Inoue was about to start rolling downhill on him. And eventually, the ref knew that this fight was done.
Inoue's waiting.
Still 2 minutes to go, Jim.
Oh, this is unbelievable for Inoue. Third time he's gone.
All Rodriguez could do was sit there and take it. He unleashed a monster as soon as his team made things personal.
Rocks to the core. Another count. It's over. Michael Alexander.
And the way he managed to serve up some justice was truly awe-inspiring. One of these fighters was headed for the pound-for-pound rankings, and the other was not.
Waves it off in the second. Shoto!
Naoya Inoue had not only done an amazing job here, but he also defended his father's honor.
Progressing to the WBSS final, and the new IBF Bantamweight Champion of the World!
Inoue simply had too much power, too much precision, and way too accuracy for Rodriguez to handle.
Punches landed. Rodriguez shuddered. Here is the first knockdown, Carl.
He was light years ahead of him from the opening bell, and it took him less than 5 minutes to prove just how superior he truly was.
Well, to get up there from that. Oh, what a shot, and that big long left.
There are levels to the boxing game, and Emmanuel Rodriguez should have known better than to elevate the stakes when he didn't have the skills to show for it.
Unbelievable power for 118 pounds. And McDonald.
That left hook is so good, and it's so long and so precise.
We can't speak for Inoue's dad, but he must have been proud of his son's reaction and response here.
Rodriguez in no position to continue. Therefore, the winner,
Stephen Fulton. Inoue continued to rule the bantamweight division with an iron fist until July 2023, when he made his highly anticipated leap to the super bantamweight division, stepping up 4 pounds to face the reigning WBC and WBO champion, Stephen Fulton. At the time, Fulton was hailed as the top dog in the division, and his reputation had him talking with a bit of a swagger.
I've been in the ring with guys like him. Trust me. Even down back to my amateur days. Guys, I feel like this is just new to the fans, seeing a Asian, like a Japanese guy doing these things. It's not new to me.
Fulton was a fighter with a great reputation for his skill and toughness, but Inoue wasn't intimidated by the hype, even though Fulton was considered the slight favorite, and the fight was expected to be a brutal and back-and-forth clash. Ahead of fight night, Inoue's hand wrap ceremony was watched intensely by Fulton's team, as they made sure that nothing suspicious was going on. With the proof that Inoue's hand wraps were legal, no excuses remained. Only the fight. With nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, Fulton would soon be made to eat his words. Round 1. This was a bout of real pound-for-pound proportions. Both men occupied a spot in the top 10, and each was in the middle of staking their claim at legitimate greatness. There was an unmistakable tension in the air. Questions would be answered, and one of these men would emerge as a real contender to the pound-for-pound throne. The energy in the arena was reaching a fever pitch as these two warriors stared each other down for the final time before the punches started flying. The pair were never going to go all out in the very first round, and as expected, they used these opening minutes to gauge each other's timing and engage in a footwork battle. Inoue loves nothing more than piling the pressure on his opponents, but given that he was facing off against a bigger man, he did need to be wary of Fulton's power. Of the two, he was clearly the more confident and aggressive fighter, and the crowd were losing their minds each and every time he attempted to land. Fulton obviously knew he was up against it in this fight, but even he must have been surprised at how quickly Inoue was comfortable taking the fight to him. It wasn't all-out offense just yet, but Inoue, as this round wore on, you could see him starting to get a feel for Fulton's rhythm. It was by no means a dominant round, but momentum was clearly on Naoya's side. Round 2. Would round 2 be any better for the champion Fulton, or would the monster continue to carve out his advantage? Well, it was clear that Inoue was starting to feel himself here, loosening up in his movement and causing some frustrated looks from Fulton and his corner. The blitzing offense of Inoue was very clearly proving difficult for Fulton to anticipate. The rhythm disruption on display was truly excellent. His opponent just couldn't react fast enough. Remember, this was a smaller fighter in Inoue, coming up and challenging a bigger champion who had a pound-for-pound level resume. So far, he was making it look easy. Inoue was fighting like he was the bigger man here, and it was very noticeably having an effect on Fulton's confidence, which was already looking surprisingly shaky for a second round. Whenever Fulton tried to get any of his own punches to land, Inoue masterfully evaded them, proving that his own defense was just as potent as his defense. Naoya's accuracy is just as much of a weapon as his punching power, and whenever he truly committed to a punch, he barely missed. Inoue's ability to explode into range and land multiple shots was something that Fulton and his team no doubt expected, but that doesn't make it any easier to stop. Fulton needed something to change, but unfortunately, the only thing that would improve in this bout was Inoue's ability to pile on the pressure. Round 3. Fulton's claims about loaded gloves seem childish now. Loaded gloves don't make you fall this far behind in a fight. Inoue was simply proving that he was the better man. Even as Fulton landed, Inoue was quick to punish him directly after, taking every ounce of Fulton's momentum and making it his own. For an undefeated fighter like Fulton, he had clearly never experienced something like this under the bright lights before. Inoue was jabbing this guy to hell, popping clean on the face whenever he had the chance. Fights in the ring are fought on many different levels and ranges, and here, Naoya was winning everywhere. Inoue was surprisingly content to invite pressure too, noting that he very clearly had several key advantages over Fulton. Inoue, in this round, began to work on Fulton's body as well, hammering the midsection, giving him more and more problems to think about. Inoue was very noticeably finding his flow, and it became clear that we were watching him putting on the greatest performance of his career to date. Considering the level of his opposition here, the fact that he was so dominant so early was pretty shocking. Round 4. Fulton was less than 10 minutes into this fight, and yet he needed to change his fortunes immediately or suffer an embarrassing loss. Unfortunately for him, Inoue was about to make his life even worse from this point in the fight onwards. Fulton surely knew at this point that the hype was real on this guy. You can't fake this kind of dominance. He was getting utterly beaten in the feinting game here too, which really didn't help things. His footwork and rhythm were already getting read by his opponent. Trust us, Inoue still has a few gears left to reach, but this round 4 performance was clearly showing off his levels. The bigger shots that Inoue were going for were still falling short, but only barely. Despite him being the bigger man, Fulton was definitely not able to muscle his way through his challenge. You could tell that Naoya was ready to turn up the heat and go all out, but for now, he was content to merely intimidate Fulton whenever he could. Round 5 came, and it was clear that Inoue was winning 4 rounds to nothing. And coming into this one, he was very noticeably looking to step up the pace. seeing if he could punish Fulton's cardio as well as his body. Hit and don't get hit is a key element of every great boxer's fighting philosophy, and Inoue was executing that perfectly here. Inoue was very clearly starting to style on him now, and Fulton was beginning to resemble a punching bag more than anything else. Just in that moment, Fulton managed to land his best shot of the fight so far. Fulton was now approaching the halfway point, and it didn't seem like his chances of winning were getting any greater. Round 5 proved to be yet another largely unsuccessful round for Fulton. Round 6. There was a different intensity to Inoue coming into round 6. Fulton had called his integrity as a fighter into question, which is a pretty serious thing to do to an opponent. And you could tell that Inoue wanted to show this man and the world exactly how great he is. Make no mistake, Fulton deserved to get punished for the things that he and his coach said, because when it comes to a fighter like Inoue, his reputation as a fighter means something. To his credit, Fulton did fight on, albeit in a losing effort. For a star like Fulton, getting owned like this is the type of ego killer that might forever change his career trajectory. The end of round 6 represented another round spent chasing the greatness of the monster. Round 7. The question now was just how long Fulton could handle getting thoroughly outclassed like this. Inoue hadn't quite landed anything devastating just yet, but trust us, that was coming soon. Fulton's own offense was amounting to very, very little, and you could see Inoue biding his time, waiting for the right moment. But like the excellent that he is, Fulton still found his moments of success, although they would be short-lived. Inoue was really starting to sit down on his punches now, aiming to put a real hurting on his target. Inoue's confidence was starting to peak here, and he continued to walk Fulton down, determined to punish him for every lie he had spoken in the media. We're sure that Fulton respected the skills of Inoue before fighting him, but now, the gap in talent between them now was inarguable. Fights are not won and lost on body language, but you really cannot understate how dejected Fulton was starting to look incredibly dejected out there. Round 8. Unfortunately for Stephen Fulton Jr., Round 8 would be the round that would spell his doom, bringing his undefeated record to an almighty halt. Fulton was already beat. He just didn't know it yet, but Inoue was mere seconds away from making his hopelessness crystal clear. And then, out of nowhere, the biggest punch of the fight by some distance, Inoue cracked Fulton clean and put him down to the canvas for the first time. To his credit, Fulton stood up from this barrage and managed to recover, but any chance of a comeback was completely gone. Naoya Inoue is called the Monster for a reason, and boy, does he know how to finish an opponent when he has them stunned. Eventually, the referee knew that this was only going to end one way, and so he did the merciful thing and called this one off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the hallmark of a truly great era-defining fighter. He took another top-level fighter deep into the fight and then finished him. Once Inoue has you hurt, you truly are in trouble. And boy, does he know how to close a show when the opportunity comes. A pound-for-pound worthy victory. Luis Nery. In May of 2024, the monster Inoue faced his toughest adversity to date when he made his first title defense as the undisputed bantamweight champion against a fighter who was hated by Japanese fans. His foe was Luis Nery, a cocky Mexican fighter who had tested positive for a banned substance and had missed weight in 2 brutal knockout victories over another Japanese boxer, Shinsuke Yamanaka. The audience wanted nothing but brutal revenge from Inoue, the king of vengeance. Finally, in the Tokyo Dome in Japan, the audience wanted nothing but brutal revenge from Inoue, the king of vengeance. The fight was a masterclass. From the onset, Inoue fought with intensity and sent a big right hand. The cocky Mexican, undeterred, charged forward, swinging hard. In a shocking twist, in the pocket, Inoue was caught with a huge left hook from Nery, and the monster was knocked down for the first time in his career. To the panic of the Japanese fans, that night, Inoue for the first time needed to show his ability to emerge victorious from a duel of smoking barrels and survive the ensuing barrage. In the next round, Inoue came out fiercer than before. Then the monster responded with a knockdown of his own. By round 3, Naoya was ready to close the show. Almost as if his rival had awakened a monster, Inoue brutalized the Mexican to the adulation of the Japanese fans. The Japanese fans were now getting the beatdown they had paid for. Inoue was now in the matrix. His weapon of the choice was the right hand and jabs. The monster could see every shot coming. Nery knew he had no way out, so he started taunting. And he complained to the referee. But Inoue soon switched to the left hook. Moving around like prime Pacquiao, he was stinging the cheater at will. In the 5th round, the monster got the instruction to add more torque to his punches. There were signs of an impending train wreck. The difference in class was becoming more evident. Naoya bucked the marauding Nery in his knees. The Mexican champ was getting dismantled left and right. Inoue, smelling blood, urged him to attack, but only punished him with damaging shots. Nery now realized the level of Inoue's skill. Finding a way out, the cheater chose the dirty antics. Inoue signaling to the crowd to stay awake for what is to come next. Nery gave his all, willing to die on his shield. But Inoue had him where he wanted. While in the corner, against the fence, the monster carefully dissected the Mexican boxer with a couple short left hooks, dropping him a second time. Inoue unleashed hell. Unleashing big rights, Nery looked for a 5th corner of the ring to run to. But the bell saved him temporarily. Now smelling blood, the monster had one job. Testing the injured animal with jabs, body shots, and he welcomed Nery's attacks. But what the Mexican got in return were concussive shots. Nery shivered in his timbers. Proving to be perhaps the fastest boxer in the world, Inoue sent an uppercut followed by a right hand ended the violence affair. Nery was folded like a lawn chair, and getting back from the final shot was impossible. No mass rang around the arena to signify that Nery's will to fight had been drained and that the Mexican has given up to the brutal punches of the monster. In total 6 rounds, Inoue had eviscerated a tough opponent and gave the Japanese fans a great showing, as Nery was sent to the canvas 3 times in a beatdown that increased Inoue's star power in Japan.
まあ試合が始まってからというのは、まあいろいろと因縁とかっていうのはあったんですけど。
In the post-fight, Inoue confessed that Nery's cheating antics motivated him to destroy the Mexican. Without a doubt, Nery deserved the beating as payback for his previous shenanigans. Warlito Piranus. 2 days before 2016, Inoue defended his WBO junior bantamweight title against the #1 contender Warlito Piranus. This one wouldn't last long. Not wasting any time, Inoue went straight to business. Having no response, his opponent smiled, not knowing what his future awaits. Taunting his opponent in his sleep. Inoue welcomed him back to his feet by raining hell on the still dizzy Piranus. Inoue had delivered a complete demolition in 2 rounds in front of his home crowd. Naoya Inoue versus Aran Dipaen. In 2021, the monster faced the uncrackable Aran Dipaen. The Thai had never bled and never tasted the canvas, but what happened in this fight was wild. At the beginning, Dipaen acted overconfident he could take Inoue's punches. Once he felt Inoue's power cleanly, he put up his guard, and fear was starting to sip in. In true Thai spirit, Dipaen showed his warrior mentality. For Inoue, it honestly looked like he was sparring. Like in Tekken, Inoue tried out different combinations, and they were all landing. The hard-chinned Dipaen was now bleeding. The Thai didn't just have an iron chin. Dipaen showed off a certified iron body, eating Inoue's body shots like drums. Inoue was intent on turning his insides to dust. Halfway through, Dipaen was starting to feel the terror of the body shots and took the running approach. The Thai's pain was compounding, and he wanted no more of Inoue. Finding the perfect shot, Inoue sent him flying for the first time in his career. The referee, having close view of the beatdown, decided to save Dipaen from the monster. Naoya Inoue versus Ya Jun Kim. In January 2005, Inoue delivered the fastest karma in boxing. His opponent was the muscle-bound Korean Ya Jun Kim, who made the mistake to sign a contract to face the monster. From Inoue's walk to the ring, it was evident that his opponent was in for a nightmare. From the onset, Inoue, with zero smiles on his face, smashed into the Korean viciously.
Straight right to the body.
Is underway.
Then the monster reduced Kim's life bar with heavy shots.
Mercy on his opponents, as Mike Tyson once said, this is a mean man inside the ropes. Right hand there from Inoue.
That's the shots that he misses.
Right hand there from Inoue.
Kim, showing his toughness, charged forward and ate damaging counters for his troubles.
Counter shot there from Inoue, lifts Kim up.
But what happened next was insane. The muscle bully taunted Inoue, inviting the monster in. Well, Inoue accepted his invite and replied the disrespectful opponent with the fierceness rarely seen before as he unloaded a terrifying barrage that folded Kim into a heap.
He's inviting Inoue to keep going now.
Him saying, come on. Oh, right hand, nearly sends. We take a look back at how this one ended.
マーク・ネルソンが10カウントを数え上げたタイムは4ラウンド2分25秒4ラウンド2分25秒
That full-force blast, landing flush, was the finishing blow turned his mocking to torture in a matter of seconds. So, these were the times Naoya Inoue obliterated cocky fighters with his ferocious precision. Comment below which one was your favorite and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Goodbye. Have a good day.